Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Madmen with the Box Live. I am your host, Pixel. Joining me is OZChris, back home.
I'm
welcome
back. I'm back. You can't kill me. I'm back. Guess what's not back? Doctor Who. But guess who is back? Me.
Chris is back. Hello to Matt Fish and Sean in the chat. Also joining us today is Joe of the Corallos.
Hello, it's me, Joe.
Of the Corallos.
It's true.
Yeah, in case we don't get him confused with the other Joe of the Corallos, Pixel.
That's right. No, that's the Corallos. Those are different. That's a different bunch altogether. Anyway, today we are going to be pitching our own Doctor Who animated series, kind of for the CBs, maybe not. I don't know. We'll come.
I'm
See what we
thinking
come up
Infinite
with.
Quest 2. Anyone? Dreamland 2. Sharda again.
Schalke Reborn.
Scream of Schalke 2. Which technically there was a novel, there was a second story that was made into a novel.
Is this inspired by Josh Snare's video? No, I didn't know they did a video like this. No, I didn't. It's just coinkydink. Okay, but before we get into our thrilling subject, where you see what we came up with, there's just a little bit of news that we have to talk about. Just a little bit. If I share my screen, is it this one? Yes. This is a few little text bubbles from the editor of Doctor Who magazine.
Apparently he's not an editor. He was an editor. He's a part of Doctor Who magazine, but I don't think he's currently an editor. From what I could see in what I saw in the replies, so part of Doctor Who magazine, but not an editor anymore, I think.
Okay. I mean, they still have experience with it. If he's wrong, he's wrong. I can live with them. Well, hopefully he's wrong. But
I love that is the go-to deflection of like, hey, if I said, hey, it's like when I say something, but then I add in the end, I don't know. It's like, well, you can't blame me. I said, I don't know at the end.
There you go. That's right. You're not at fault. No consequence.
Maybe you should break into Area 51, but I don't know.
No. They can't stop all of us, or can they?
I don't know. We should bring Billie Piper back and CGI her onto Ncuti Gatwa's body, but I don't know.
You can always use the creative of plans change.
Change.
Yeah.
Change of plans.
God.
But no, talking about apparently Doctor Who is absolutely going on a hiatus for, I think what it said like 5 years, maybe 5 or 6 years.
There's no confirmation of 5.
There's no confirmation. Yeah. But there is allegedly a plan of a hiatus. And at this point, I welcome it.
That is fair.
Because, again, we don't know what's going on with Doctor Who at this point. It's just so funny. Like, what was it, last year? It's just like, yep, there's going to be 3 seasons. Ncuti Gatwa even said we were going to be filming season 3, and then that clip got removed from the Graham Norton show. All these big plans. We're going to have so many spin-offs, guys. One. We're going to have one spin-off. That is one many spin-offs. So, who knows? It's just...
So, here's what else, like, on the rumor side of things. The idea is that the War Between the Land and the Sea is the last project that is with the Disney contract. and they can't say anything until the Disney contract is actually up, which is after the War Between actually comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Which makes sense. So that's why we're stuck waiting.
Considering with like how vague they've been about the future of the show, especially like was in Doctor Who magazine, Russell's like, oh, something's gonna happen. I hope it does.
Yeah.
Please,
And
Matt.
he's the thing is, pardon me. The thing is, I remember when I first subscribed to Doctor Who magazine, and it was just when RTD was saying, "Letters from the editor. It's back. It's here again, and I'm gonna keep talking to you." He did, and he did, and now he's saying, "Well, I'm done with this for until something happens." So, till then, farewell. That's what he said.
It's so that's funny. It's like, well, I'm done. Bye.
It's travesty. It's really sad.
I have to go home now. My planet needs me.
My planet needs me. It's funny. It's funny. I kept saying that there are times when Russell should shut his mouth when he speaks about certain things, and he just decides he has now. But I think it's even funny. It's like with how vague they're saying, how vague it is about like what's going on with Doctor Who. Like we already know what's going on. Like it's very obvious. It does seem like that could be true. They can't say anything outright until the Disney contract expires, but it's very obvious with what we've been hearing since the finale that it's like, yeah, I don't think the show's coming back anytime soon.
Man, if we had talked last week when I was like, last week we had to postpone because I had to close my store.
You could have just left it open. Who's gonna go there after hours?
Set up for the next set. Anyway, there was something that had just come out, an interview with Russell commenting on Omega in the finale. And saying,
I saw that, and he's just like, "Oh, this is the reason why I changed Sutek and Omega. They don't look like they did in the classic series because we need to move on."
Yeah, we need to move on. People don't really care. They want them back. They want the name, but
they want the name back. But we need to move on. I could
have made some mysterious origin Time Lord, but when you have Omega's name right there, why not just slap it on?
Which is hilarious that he's saying we need to move on. The show needs to move on, and you end it with Billy Piper as the Doctor.
Maybe. Who knows? He doesn't even know.
Well, you ended with Billy Piper as the Doctor in a story that featured both the Rani and Omega and also Mel.
It is so funny, like, because even for the 60th anniversary, like leading up to that, wasn't he saying like the show changes, the show needs to move on, it needs to progress, it can't be like stuck to the past, and then the entirety of this era is very like stuck in the past. It is actually a deterrent for new viewers. You actually have to watch, at least primarily, his era. And then once you get to the villains, you have to at least watch those classic Who episodes. It does not work as a jumping on point for new viewers. Hence why I think it was so pointless for it to be called Season 1 and Season 2. It is still a continuation of the show.
Especially with Sutek last season, even though it wasn't done well. It absolutely wasn't done well. It absolutely is connected to Infinity.
Pyramids of Mars.
Yes, Pyramids of Mars. It's absolutely connected to that. There's no doubt.
Yeah. And with like the Rani and Omega, you're not going to know who she is. Like, this isn't like the same as when he brought back the Master, because if you don't know classic Who, the fact that there is another Time Lord, and with how the Doctor is acting, it could be a bad one, is enough alone to get new people interested in who the Master is. Whereas when you're a classic fan, you're happy that the Master is back. Like that's why the Master returning in Series 3 works. It works to both fields, as a classic fan and as a new Who fan. Whereas with the Rani, it's only for classic fans, and it's only for classic fans who like her.
Yes.
Because we say it's like as a joke, and it's like, yeah, it'd be funny if they brought her back, but like there's no point to bringing the Rani back because she's just always going to be compared to the Master, because she essentially kind of is, just with a slightly different shtick. And it's like, yeah, we don't really want the Rani back. Like it before this happened, it would have been nice to see the Rani come back. We're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. They brought her back for New Who to see what they would do. But like after this, it's like I don't want any of them to come back. Don't bring the Monk back. Yeah. Don't bring Rassilon back. And the fact with Omega, they had to change his lore, because that's the big problem with Omega. The Omega side of it is that it oddly and weirdly works with a new viewer, because they give him new lore. They give him a new origin. But it's a new origin that spits on classic Who fans.
Oh, entirely.
It's like, oh, he's the mad god. He was exiled for what he did by his people. And it's like, for a new Who fan, it's like, okay, I kind of get the gist. For some that's jumping onto Shudigatwa's era, they kind of get the gist of what Omega is. But for everyone else, like us, we're like,
that's not Omega.
That's not Omega's lore. What is this? Like Ashan said, you need to reintroduce classic Who villains before making them the finale villain, like with Series 1, 2, and 7. Yeah, Series 1, you have the episode Dalek, and you set up the whole, it's the last of the Daleks, so when you get to the finale, and there are actually more Daleks, you're familiar with them if you've never watched classic Who. And then same with Series 2, the Cybermen, they're not the same Cybermen of the main universe, they're an alternate one, so that works for new viewers. And then you bring them back, and then you also bring the Daleks back. And then Series 7 with, what was that? The Great Intelligence.
The Great Intelligence.
It was the Great Intelligence. So, yeah, you had them set up in
the Snowmen?
You had him in the Snowmen. Then you had him as a cameo at the end of Bells of St. John. And then he comes back in the finale. Not as effective because Name of the Doctor should have been 2 parts, but it was a single story. But other than that, it's like, yeah, at least the Great Intelligence was at least somewhat set up to be the villain of like the second half of Series 7. But with Sutek, it wasn't. It's just thrown in for the finale. With the Rani, if you want to count Mrs. Flood, yes, but not really.
Not really. No.
Yeah.
And then Omega's just thrown in at the end of Wishworld.
Yeah. Why was she breaking the fourth wall the entire time?
And it's like, you're gonna have someone argue like, oh well, Deadpool breaks the fourth wall. It's like, yeah, that's his shtick.
Who is? I haven't heard a person seriously argue that for this. Like that's like I don't get that. Yeah,
the thing is, it's like, it's again very obvious. Mrs. Flood was not supposed to be the Rani.
No.
With how she was set up, how she acts, the fact that she breaks the fourth wall, it was very clear she was envisioned to be someone else, and then it just changed because generate content.
Yeah, and I would also say the 12th Doctor has that opening monologue in what is it? The one with the Fisher cake.
Oh, the
explained one of my
two-parter.
favorite things when it goes ahead and talks about a bootstrap paradox. He wants Beethoven to sign all his music. There is no Beethoven. Nobody's heard of him, but he brought all of his.
Yeah, also in Listen he does as well.
Listen, well, I forgot. And it has the best opening because that electric guitar just pulls us in. Yeah, it's great.
See, Rachel Smith here says, "What kills me is you could flip Mrs. Flood and Susan Twist and would make no difference. RTD literally did the same mysterious old white woman showing up shtick twice in back-to-back series. That's also another problem. Yep. It's like we've got the same thing again. It's just the only difference is we know about Mrs. Flood because of season 1, because of at the end of Church of Ruby Road, and then at the end of Empire of Death, and it's like, okay, she's a character that breaks the fourth wall. There's something mysterious about her, but yeah, again, it is once again just mysterious woman, and it's like, wow, we're really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, aren't we?
Yeah, but like the Rani, for example, like if you're gonna bring her back, you have to make her as different from the Master as possible. What you should do, she should be in a 2-parter, and it should be the Doctor on a planet that's like there's weird experiments, people are enslaved, etc. And then the reveal at the end of the first part is that it's a planet ruled by the Rani, and then you take the Rani out in the second part. Like you have to lean into the few differences the Rani has from the Master and other Time Lords, and instead of that, fuck it, she hated Gallifrey, but not, I guess, because she wants
to bring the Time Lords back,
which the Master also did in series 3. Like, what? Like, it's slightly different because she wants to like genetically engineer Time Lords from monster Time Lord when she could
plus would they, the thing is, would it really be a Time Lord she'd be making? Because Omega is a Gallifreyan. He wasn't a Time Lord. They became Time Lords after he helped create the Eye of Harmony. That's the whole thing. They became Time Lords. That the Time Lord is a rank. It's a title. They gave it to themselves once they discovered the ability to time travel, which was because of Omega. So technically, yes, he is the first Time Lord, but they came up with the term afterwards. He would be a Gallifreyan. She would just be bringing back Gallifreyans. She would not be bringing back Time Lords that can regenerate, because the whole thing with the Timeless Child is that the Doctor is the source of that. So it's like, why would she choose Omega? Why not choose the Doctor unless she did not know about the Timeless Child thing?
But she successfully enslaved the Doctor, so she couldn't have pulled like his DNA and samples from him.
So the idea is
the thing is the whole like they're sterile now, which is like a bullshit excuse.
But that doesn't make any sense to Time Lords.
He just needs a body. I know it doesn't, because you go ahead and you God, I hate that.
This also makes Russell's whole convoluting of the Doctor's timeline even worse. Because remember, in Legend of Ruby Sunday, Russell puts in the unnecessary thing that the Doctor doesn't have a child yet. He has a granddaughter, Susan, but he hasn't had children yet. And he says, life of a time traveler. It's like, the implication being he hasn't met the person who's going to have his kid, who then either them or their partner proceeds to have Susan. But the thing is, if the Doctor is now sterile, how does that work? It's such an unnecessary tidbit that was added. Like when I gave my thoughts in the episode for the Reality War, it's like, why did Russell need to unnecessarily convolute what the Master did? It was as simple as the Master just killed the Time Lords on Gallifrey. No, now it has to be every Time Lord across space. But if you somehow survived, it makes you sterile.
Yeah, that doesn't make any damn sense. Sean, rule number 1, the showrunner lies, or has no idea what he's doing. That's
well,
what it
yeah,
is.
I mean, the idea of any of these characters being sterile or sterile when they can travel through space and time, like, what are we fucking doing? Like, what?
It adds nothing.
Yeah.
What does it add? That the Doctor is now sterile.
Oh, but he can have as many regenerations as he fucking, who cares? But
who cares? Yeah.
You know.
That's what bi-generation is. RTD too cowardly for looms.
So regeneration doesn't get rid of if you're sterile and you regenerate it, you're still like what?
I guess so. Well, to be fair, that was a thing in original expanded lore that that all Time Lords from a certain point are born sterile, hence why they had to use looms. So even regeneration didn't fix that. It was just it's just ingrained in in the DNA of the Time Lord that they're sterile.
But that's a little different.
But that's different.
Yeah,
there's an actual reason why they were made sterile. They were fucking cursed to be sterile, and they had to use looms. But then obviously the constantly shifting lore of the TV show, looms have been put aside. They can naturally have children.
See, that stupid ass line in Legend of Ruby Sunday was easy enough to like shove away. Like, you can forget about that. I could push that out of my mind. I can't, because it
contradicts everything else the Doctor has said. The Doctor did not have this convoluted like, I'm both a dad and not a dad. It's always just been, I've been a parent.
I've been a father. He's trying to justify bi-generation, aka coping. This is his headcanon to make his fanfic feel real. That's what this is.
And also, got it now. I remember I think I made a post saying this, like, reality war does not explain bi-generation, with like the Doctor theorizing but this is how bi-generation is like our species' way of like trying to get around being sterile. Then it's or like when there's only like only a fair few Time Lords left, so we can't procreate. There can't be any more Time Lords. This is how we continue as a species. And it's like, well, before Day of the Doctor, why didn't the 9th Doctor fucking bi-generate, or the 10th Doctor? Because they thought for the entire time they were the last of the Time Lords. And also that also contradicts how you with, well, very little explanation, set up bi-generation in the Giggle, where it's like that is their past self, and in some way that is never explained, they eventually do become the next incarnation. So it's like, so it's not separate people, but then you're theorizing, no, it is separate people now. Like, that's, again, like, Russell is not only convoluting stuff that his friends have done, he's also convoluting himself.
Yep. It's crazy how much between I Don't Want to Go and bi-generation that RTD just can't stand killing David Tennant.
Yeah.
But
it's just, yeah, this if Doctor Who is going on a break, I welcome it at this point.
Let it die, let it die, let it shrivel up.
Well, not let it die. It needs a break so they can figure out what the fuck are we going to do.
Well, it needs a break so they can not let anyone who had previously touched it in New Who touch it again, really. Like, even the people I like, fuck it. Just don't. Go in a completely new direction. I know it's really tempting. I know there are people like, I still like Stephen Moffat, but like, you know what? No, get away from all of those people. Just get away. I need something new.
I do not want the friend group back running the show. If you want them to come back every once in a while to write an episode, okay, but I don't want them running the show. I don't want the same cycle again, they say that Doctor Who always changes, Doctor Who always moves on, and it's not. And I think that's a big problem with this era. There's a big difference between respecting the past and being reliant on it. And the problem with RTD2, it is not respecting the past, it is reliant on the past existing. Because you're gonna have to watch, if you're a new viewer, you essentially have to watch 60 years worth of content to understand those two series.
You have to watch 60 years of content for two of the weakest finales of New Who.
Oh yeah, these finales, like I forgot to say in my my review, like I think I can't remember, but these two finales make the Timeless Children look like art. Yeah. I would rather watch the Timeless Children than watch Empire of Death or Reality War.
As someone who's watched the Timeless Children more recently, I can agree.
It's so, like, that's the thing. Like, everyone likes to say, everyone that's unfairly critiquing like the Chibnall era, it's like, oh, the Chibnall era is the worst. It killed Doctor Who. The thing is, it's bad, but it's being honest. That's what I will give the Chibnall era. Like, it's not like Chibnall is going out of his way to be like, I want to sabotage Doctor Who as much as possible during my tenure because, I don't know, I secretly hate it. Whereas with RTD, everything he's doing, whether he's aware of it or not, is sabotaging Doctor Who. Like, what he is saying in interviews, what he's done with the show, the ambiguity about the fate of the show now, he is the one that is killing Doctor Who. For someone who is supposed to be like a big fan, and the fact that he first brought it back, he's the one he is actively committing to its downfall. This whole producer mindset of like generating content is the worst possible thing that's ever happened. Because I've watched a few videos where they've talked about the blocking of a scene in episodes. And you can see in the finale for the most recent one, Wishworld and Reality War, how it's blocked. It is purposely blocked so you can crop it and put it on Instagram and TikTok. Because everything has to be center. In that center square, so you can clip it easily. And it's like, wow, the blocking in this is actually, like, now that I notice it, it's not something I like aware of, but it's in the back of my head. But now that I've noticed it because someone's talked about it, it's like, yeah, how you're filming it is just so somebody can clip it, or the Doctor Who page can clip it themselves and be like, oh my God, it's the Rani, guys. It's really bad. And the fact that it's only these things are happening for shock value. Like, here's the Rani, here's Omega, Billy Piper is back. It's like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, no, it's gross.
The fact that if worst case scenario, the show is actually cancelled, it ends on Billy Piper saying, oh, hello, breaking the fourth wall.
Oh, hello.
Like, that is worst possible scenario. That is just how the show ends, on that thing that is never explained.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yep, if it's going on a hiatus, good. It needs a full restructure. Production-wise, it needs a full restructure.
Yep.
The show won't be cancelled. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think the show will ever be cancelled. No. We've been in close to cancellation times a lot with this show. It might go on an indefinite hiatus. That's business talk for cancel.
Yep. The last Disney Plus stuff is going to be a weird spinoff that actually looks good.
It looks good, but I don't have my hopes up.
No, don't have your hopes up, but it looks good.
Pixel, it's Pete McTighe.
Stop.
Writer of Lucky Day.
Stop,
Kablam.
Please. Stop.
Praxius, I think.
We're done. You've said enough.
There's going to be, I'm calling it here with War Between the Land and the Sea, there's going to be heavy-handed politics, and it's not going to be done well. Given what we've seen of Pete McTighe's episodes in Doctor Who, there is going to be a heavy-handed commentary on something, and it's not going to be executed well, because then you're going to start picking at it. Like, I never realized with Lucky Day, like, the whole thing with Conrad is that he's trying to convince everyone that UNIT is a lie, that they're purposely lying about the existence of aliens to control everyone. But the thing is, how does he lure UNIT out? By pretending that aliens are invading. But the thing is, if UNIT is behind all of these in his mind, why would they investigate an alien threat? Like, if the thing is that they're faking everything, why would they go to something that eventually turned out to be fake, that they didn't do?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, like, okay, yeah, now that you point that out, it's like, that's actually really fucking dumb that he would do that to try and lure UNIT out. But again, he's supposed to be a grifter, so... But even then, that doesn't fit in the narrative that he's pushing to everyone. Everyone else should be questioning him. To him, he's like, I did the ultimate fucking... I conned everyone. What a bunch of bozos. Ishan says they're trying to find a new partner, Netflix, HBO Max, or make it in-house for cheaper budget.
Yeah.
Streaming-wise, I think any of those choices are actually pretty good.
Oh.
That's only if they're streaming it. I don't want... if HBO Max had a hand in it, maybe I'd be fine with that.
I'm going
Netflix though. No, I don't want. I want Netflix to only stream it. I don't want them having a hand in
Amazon.
Doctor Who in any production, like production.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Yes.
Jeff Bezos, please save Doctor Who.
Listen, half of those shows are astounding. The other half I haven't watched, but every show I didn't want. Wheel Time I watched, it wasn't that great, but. When you go ahead, anything that they did that was superhero based, it was stellar for most of it. And then there was a show called Hunters that I was watching on there too. It's so great.
Is that the Nazi hunting one?
Yes, it's fantastic. Al Pacino it's great.
I was going to say, I didn't know they made a show about Christopher Lee during his time in World War II.
Yeah. Also, his name's not Al anymore. It's Dunk.
What's my name? Dunk Pacino. Hey, celebrities, okay? I get you guys. You just want a paycheck, but you know, I'm still gonna question. I'm still gonna question you being in shit. Like, be honest about it. That I did this for a paycheck. It's like Jeremy Irons in Dungeons and Dragons. He's like, I needed to pay off a castle. Like, but granted, he has the best fucking performance in that film. He's hamming it up. He's cheesing it up.
I saw that in theaters.
Oh,
I did too.
I didn't. I saw that on TV. And I'm like, yeah, even I can tell this is bad, but Jeremy Irons is giving a fucking performance.
Rachel, I disagree about it being out of character for Kate. Because Kate
doesn't have a character.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I loved it. That was one of the best scenes of the episode when she was like, I'm glad the doctor isn't here because he would stop me from doing this.
The problem is there's no real consequences from that on her side. Aside from Ibrahim just being like, you went too far.
Well, yeah, there's an implication that it's going to be causing issues in the war between at least from what I heard.
Kate, you're not going to be part of these negotiations. We don't know when you're going to sick a dog monster onto them.
Well, I mean, he was asking for it. Anyway.
Oh wow. Rachel says poor Kate can't go a single episode without mentioning her dad is a better character. Lamau. Remember when she was introduced and she's introduced as Kate Stewart? She did not want to be tied down to her father's legacy.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem with Kate post Power of 3, is that they really have to hammer in. She's the Brigadier's daughter. Guys, she's the Brigadier's daughter. Do you know that she's the Brigadier's daughter? Because that's her only thing that she contributes. Anytime she appears, it has to be, I'm the Brigadier's daughter. Even to the fact that when 14 meets her, he refers to her as Kate Lethbridge Stewart.
Yeah,
and when she was introduced, Kate Stewart. She did not want to be tied down to that legacy. She wanted to make it out of there on her own, based on who she is and her own merit.
Listen, Lucky Day is a really bad episode, but Kate is the best thing about that bad episode. Because Chris Chibnall, like when he went ahead and wrote her, and I don't like. I'm more on.
And unfortunately, I think Chibnall unintentionally added to Kate's character that she'll just hire anyone except Conrad.
That's right.
Just goes to the companion support group and goes like,
"We can use you.
You want a job?
Hey, Tegan, come on."
Goes to a preschool. You're hired.
All right. We only have one more news piece. We've been talking half an hour about this, which is surprising. Yeah. I said it was going to be a quick episode. Nope. Big Finish. They put out a little love letter. That's what they're calling it. But it wants to pretty much clarify where they stand on pirating Big Finish.
Yo ho ho, a pirate's life force.
Not us.
People that hate Big Finish.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, they're talking about it's like, obviously, piracy is affecting them and it's affecting their wallets. And it's like, they would like, please pay for our content because we have to support our staff, support our team and all that. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That
makes sense. But then there's a lot of people that are just having a huge issue with this.
Yeah,
but they're bringing up issues that don't really have to do with the quality of Big Finish stories. It's mainly to do with unfortunately, a lot of their hiring practices. Turns out a few people they have there. Maybe you should have checked through their social media before you hired them.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's weird. For some, they don't do anything. Like Trevor Baxendale, apparently very kind of, not very, but quite a controversial figure. I can't remember what the issues were with him, but I know people do have an issue with him. And it's not to do with his work. It's with him as a person. And they haven't really done or addressed anything about him working there. But then you have dude who played that shitty Master Incarnation. I can't remember his James Dreyfus.
Yes.
James Dreyfus, he came out he had anti-trans rhetoric, and they're like, okay, you're out. I'm like, good. All right. You don't want to have someone like that. You don't want to hire someone like that or keep having them there. So it's this weird ground where they will blacklist people for their views, but then for others, they're kind of just like, oh, we don't see anything. Mm-hmm. But they're using that as the thing is, using that as the criticism, be like, well, you've got these people on your payroll, so I'm not going to pay for your content.
So here's the thing, though. Even if you don't like those writers and you don't like that and you don't want to support Big Finish, that's fine. That means you just don't engage with any of the content.
Don't engage at all. Don't be like, I'm not supporting them, but I'm gonna illegally download their content.
Yeah.
I do think I think was it Fish was making a point too, but there's kind of piggybacking off that. I'm not blaming Big Finish for this, but they do put out a lot of content, and it'd be nice if they made it easier to like silo off some things and kind of encourage people to like, if you really like this, do this, and maybe create packages or incentives for people to like just subscribe to like, hey, you're a big, Peter Davidson fan, like you can subscribe and every new one at like a lower rate than if you were getting all of it, or like like those kind of things, just to like.
They used to have something similar,
but
then they stopped it. But it was mainly for like the monthly adventures when they had that range. So I can see why they stopped it, because it doesn't exist anymore.
But
they currently the only thing they have is like, you can pre-order all the classic Doctor releases that are coming out next year, and it's like, okay, it's not. And I would also say, I think a big thing, not to say that it's really just justifying the piracy, but like the price changes. It's why I've also cut back on a lot of series, because, well, it's half the reason I've cut back on a lot of series is because, like, it's getting pricey. Like, a lot of it's like, even just the download only prices, it's like, I don't know, man. I can't really justify this. So,
a lot of the spinoffs, they feel
and just like
I can't do that.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of all these different series. Like, I think this month they're starting the that Sarah Jane Smith and Harry Sullivan series.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, who fucking cares? Like, nothing against whoever's working on that, but it's like, if I'm going into like listen to Doctor Who stuff on Big Finish, it's like, do I really want to listen to that Sarah Jane Smith and Harry Sullivan adventures?
Only if it's like a decent rate and it has something that's niche. Like, I want to hear this specifically. Like when they had a unit and the Silence got involved.
Oh yeah, that was that. Yeah, that box set. Yeah.
That's something that'll go ahead and pique your interest, but there's nothing in that other than the fact there's more K9. More of me.
But like, and again, like, to the point of cost, it's like you're competing with so many things. Like, you're competing with, for anywhere from $10-15 a month on average. You get something like HBO Max or Disney Plus or Netflix, and
or
you get.
Or even with if we're going with audio, Audible.
Yeah.
Audible is a lot of stuff on Audible is like maybe $6.
Yeah.
Minimum $6. And like, granted, it's different. Nine times out of 10, that is essentially an audio novel.
Yeah.
But you know what? Audible actually has a range of originals. Shudigatwa I think he has like 2 series on Audible that he did.
Okay. And I know there are some audio dramas technically. I know.
Yeah.
There was was Sandman on Audible?
Yep. Sandman was on Audible.
Yeah, they had the Sandman like audio drama. So it's like, like Audible has all of this for like definitely more reasonable prices. But the thing is, with Audible, it's download only, whereas with Big Finish, they're doing download only and also physical.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can see why the prices have to change, because you have to adjust for the constantly changing economy and all that. You have to factor in all like the making of the physical products and then the distribution to different places. It's not just the UK, it's internationally as well. So I understand why a lot of the prices are what they are.
Yeah.
But it's like, Yeah, it's an unfortunate thing. Matt Fish says a lot of people getting in their own way to keep all the money rather than be a part of a bigger picture and not have the overhead costs of owning the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah.
I feel like, and I agree with Joe that Big Finish needs some kind of incentive so that more people want to like support these series. Like there's nothing there to be like get a certain percentage off if you buy all of this. Like they have the sales constantly, but like I don't think that's really doing anything. And I think the main audience that is listening to Big Finish 9 times out of 10 already have everything that's on sale.
Yeah.
You know, like me, I already have a lot of like the backlog of like Big Finish.
The sale that they had recently on, what was it? Out of Time, the whole series. But
yeah, but then now they're doing a bundle release.
Yeah. It's like you already have
Rachel Smith says the sales seem pretty random.
Yeah.
Well, half of them are
sometimes. I remember when at the end of Reality War, when it was revealed Billie Piper is potentially the Doctor, they're just like, here's a sale on Billie Piper stuff, which is like, okay, that makes sense. You're trying to capitalize on that Billie Piper reveal. So it's like, hey, you want to listen to some Billie Piper stuff? Here we go.
Good with those flash sales. Like,
yeah, they are pretty good on those flash sales.
They know when to go ahead. Oh, well, the time is hot right now. But ultimately, the point of this is to just say, don't pirate Big Finish. Don't do that. Don't be shitty. Don't be shitty, please. Please. All right. All right. So that is that's our news for the week. Now on to our thrilling topic of the evening. Joe, do you have an animated series to go ahead and pitch for us today?
Yeah, I mean, I'll riff off of what I was saying, or starting to say, the other week I think the way you do an animated series, especially if you're doing something that's like aimed for either preschoolers or younger kids or something like that, go with an Ian, Barbara, Susan Doctor setup. It doesn't have to be the first Doctor. It doesn't have to be, the Ian and Barbara and Susan that like we're familiar with, but you want two teachers, specifically you want a history teacher and a science teacher, a student, and the Doctor going on adventures. You kind of Magic School Bus it up a bit. The Doctor's Miss Frizzle, and you're going and splitting up, a season between like Earth-centric historicals, so you're learning something, and space travel, but leaning into the science. Like, and we're going to see a black hole. We're going to see the Big Bang. We're going to see the birth of a star. Like all that, like that sort of stuff. And, maybe there's some drama or tension in, like, oh, well, the black hole's sucking us in somehow and using the math or whatever to kind of get out of it. But I would avoid having any sort of like real like antagonist. I don't think this would be, I don't think you would go with like, Daleks or the Master or anything like that really for a show like this. Maybe if a show like this ends up being on too long, you have a Master-like character who is maybe trying to foil things or ruin events in history that they have to stop. But I feel at that point, that's when the show's been on too long and you've jumped the shark and you're trying to figure out things to do once you've already hit a lot of the major points. The tension or the antagonist in like a historical would be like just like in a lot of the classic Who historicals where you get caught up in whatever events happening. You know, so I think that, and I think you could also maybe lean into some of the fantasy elements. Like fantasy's rare in Doctor Who, like straight up like mind robber type stuff. But you know, maybe every once in a while you get caught up in a fairy tale because who fucking cares?
So, it's basically the initial pitch of the actual show.
Yes, exactly.
Joe, you realize that the master-like character that you need is the monk, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
The monk would be perfect as he's messing up history. We have to chase him down.
Yeah, but you wait until you've run out of ideas, I feel, before you introduce that.
So I like your pitch a lot more than mine. Because mine is a little simpler. I took the fact that it's a preschool show on the CBs, and I ran with that, whereas your idea is an actual good idea. My idea is Doctor Who and you. It's basically like a Dora the Explorer with the Doctor, Frobisher, and you as the companion. As you bounce around through history and time and space, and the Doctor will turn to you. Do you see the way out? That's it. I spent all my time drawing this picture. And that's what I got.
Master, no mastering. Oh, damn.
It's preschool.
Instead of backpack, it's TARDIS.
TARDIS. Oh my god, you make the TARDIS with a face like they did on
the god, yeah.
You'll never see Mickey again, Zach.
Oh god, no. Martha and Mickey again. No.
No.
Talking about bad Martha, Russell ideas.
Yeah. Martha, yes, but Mickey is...
we're never seeing Mickey again. We're never seeing Captain Jack again.
No, Clark is Adam a shitty person. Horrible person. Thank you, Rachel. I liked that. I do realize now, though, where the inspiration for that style came from, because he mentioned the Josh Snares thing, and I did look. That's eerily similar to the Seventh Doctor one. It's unintentional, I swear, but the Seventh is.
Not Matt Fish says K90210.
Oh no, Chris. In this time, do you have a pitch of any sort?
No.
Well,
I don't know. How about they make a Doctor Who show that's good? That's a trivial concept nowadays.
I did try to go ahead and come up with some pitch for the 13th Doctor. It didn't work out. I got halfway through and I was like, no.
Fuck it. Let's do Shada again animated.
For preschoolers.
Yeah, why not? We'll have the 14th Doctor in it this time. And then he's with...
It's going to be the 14th Doctor, isn't it?
He's with, I don't know, Romana again.
We're all convinced, right, that the preschool Doctor Who show, it's going to be the 14th Doctor.
Cynically, yes. It's going to be.
I hope it's just as jarring and alienating to preschoolers as the main show is to us. I hope preschoolers go to their little plastic kitchens and are just like, did you see the Doctor Who animation? And they're like, yeah, I think I could see what they were trying to do, but you know, as a 4-year-old, it just didn't land with me.
I liked when it snowed, but I don't know. They didn't tell me why it snowed.
Why was it snowing?
Why was it
snow
snowing?
happen? Which is what the preschool show should go at.
Yeah.
Anyway,
way to traumatize the next generation. Yeah.
It's just
we show them space babies, and they're gonna be like, "Wait." It's like that scene. It's like that scene from Euphoria. It's like, wait, is this fucking play about us?
Yes.
So like, the monster was made of boogers or something. Like, what is this? I'm a preschooler and I felt condescended to.
They say exactly that.
Yes.
Like they interview school kids who've watched it, and it's like, I felt condescended to. I felt belittled.
As a lifelong Doctor Who fan for all 4 years of my life, I have to say, I don't like how they handled Suit.
I literally waited a quarter of my life just to watch this stupid show. I only found out about this show when I developed, long-term memory.
When I developed my prefrontal cortex.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so that is that. That's our show. We somehow these babies sound like they need a cigarette. We ask you to like, comment, and subscribe. We will be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
With some
you can count on Doctor Who not being back next week, but we will.
We will. 50 minutes on a side topic, 10 minutes on the main topic. Yes.
I like to think that every episode from here on out is going to be over half an hour of what were they thinking? What were they thinking with that?
Hey, I'm still baffled. I'm still baffled that Russell T Davies still fucking thought that was a good idea. I'd like to sit. You know how he had the writer's tale about like his tenure on Doctor Who. I cannot wait for the next one. I want to fucking know what was going through his head this entire era. I really want to know.
I want to know too. I do too. Because the thing is, we should have, with him having that editor's note every month in Doctor Who magazine, we should have had some inclination of where his mind was at, but no.
Content. Generating content. That's where his mind was at.
Man,
it's got to be the next. It's got to be the new Stranger Things.
Have you watched Josh Snares' video? He finally got to
breaking the
15, and oh my god, you can feel the pain.
Yeah,
I haven't watched that one yet. I've seen the other ones, and like, I like Josh, but some of his choices are so baffling with some of the doctors, like, because I'll just be like, yeah, no, that's kind of the consensus, or like, oh, I can see like that episode's not quite for me, but that's cool that you like it. And then sometimes I'm just like, I'm so angry right now. What the hell is he talking? You know, like,
I know, putting Idiot's Lantern so low. Sorry. I love you, Josh. I always love and support my fellow Aussie creators, but you went too far.
Yeah, like there's some things that I was, I don't know, like the you know what killed me that made me just want to die was the Sylvester McCoy one, where it's like, I actually find season 25 to be better than season 26. No, it fucking isn't. It just isn't. It isn't. There's no, it's not. It is not. A season that has Silver Nemesis in it isn't better than a season that doesn't have Silver Nemesis in it. There's just like
we have two seasons here. One has Silver Nemesis, one doesn't.
And
you
look,
know what the right course of action is.
And I like Happiness Patrol. I think it's a very good story. I'm sorry, one of those seasons has Curse of Fenric in it. Like, I'm sorry. It's like the best Sylvester McCoy story. What are we doing? What are we doing pretending that's not the best season? Ugh.
So anyway, go support Josh Snares. Check out their videos.
But yes, Josh is very good and you should watch it.
Josh, love you, but in the words of Russell T. Davies, please come back.
Oh yeah, no, he also ranked Inferno. Fuck that. That is one of the single best Pertwee outing. It's one of the best acting performances that we see out of the Brigadier and Liz Shaw. It's incredible. Yeah, there were some things going on with the Pertwee stuff. Carnival of Monsters is one of the best, and that was like a middling. Like, I don't know. I could go on for hours about all the things that I didn't agree with in those videos.
Wow, I don't even remember being as fired up about any of it. There was something when we got to what was it? He was very kind to Gatus, though. More kind than I expected.
He was very, very nice.
Jimmy, #1 Gators fan. He's going to watch Fantastic Four just for Gators. As soon as Gators, after Gators is seen, he's like, I've finished watching the film and just leaves.
The movie's done. I'm done.
Movie's done. Absolute cinema leaves.
Man.
No, that's it.
That's it.
We're done.
We're done.
We're out of here.
Thank you so much for watching. We will be back next week doing something. You'll find out. Until then,
yeah.
So farewell. And
let's see what other fellow content creator we like. We're gonna slander.
Good night now.
Sack Russell T. Davies.